So we're back for 2017. I hope you guys got the sound right because I can't let my people know I'm out here lip syncing most of these videos like Mariah Carey. What do you mean we already recording? Oh. Welcome to Trill Theater with your host, B Shack, aka Damn. And today we're going to switch up the format a little bit. It's 2017. Always got to progress. Always got to keep changing up the game. So today I'm going to bring you an actual movie review. I know, right? No trailer review, no trailer reaction. Who is this guy? It's still me. But I had an earlier chance to see Hidden Figures on early screening, but because of the NDA, I couldn't talk about it. But I really wanted to discuss it, so no better than it coming out tomorrow, January 6th, I believe, for me to discuss it now that the NDA is up. So I would like to give you my take on Hidden Figures. First off, I am a person who was deeply into history, especially the history of my culture. I like to keep myself knowledgeable of all things that Black or African Americans have done within this culture or this country to help progress it. Things that aren't often told in history books. I have always sought knowledge to know these things. So when the opportunity of the story came about with these three women who worked with NASA to help the first orbit came about, I was in shock that I had never heard this story. Not shocked per se, because I know it's lots of stories that have never been told. I know there's lots of stories that need to be told. But I was shocked that I didn't know them. It was great already on that aspect for me to basically become knowledgeable and be enlightened by this story of three beyond intelligent Black women who helped progress our space program in ways that was unbeknownst to me, probably unbeknownst to at least, I want to say, 75 to 90% of Americans. So that was great to see that story and learn, in that same time being entertained, which is always a great thing for me. I love the title Hidden Figures because it's basically a double play. It's you're dealing with, the story basically is dealing with these women who have to think of the calculations to help not only propel this rocket ship out of the country, out of the atmosphere, and help it to orbit, as well as to know exactly where this spaceship will land for safety reasons for this pilot when it comes back down. So they had to basically learn the math that wasn't there. And that's why Hidden Figures is a very interesting title, also because Hidden Figures is basically essentially these Black women who were basically hidden figures. They were essential but hidden away. They were basically just a story that needs to be told. So I love the title Hidden Figures. Taraji P Henson plays Katherine Johnson. She's basically the focal point of the story. Octavia Spencer as well as Janelle Monáe were both the main three protagonists of the story, but the story basically essentially surrounds Taraji P Henson's character. You get to watch her basically fight for her position to basically earn the right to show her intelligence and how she can be a benefit to this program, and that basically everyone deserves, if you're capable of doing the job, it shouldn't be based on anything besides your ability to do it. And I love that idea. Eventually, basically all the story itself was these three women fighting for their right to be judged basically on their intelligence and their ability to do their job. Octavia Spencer wants to be the supervisor to the women who played the colored women who are the computers for NASA. Janelle Monáe plays a character who has dreams of being an engineer, but because of the ability or the time period in which civil rights was in that area, the only way that she could actually go to school, the school that's available, is a whites only school. So you get to see a lot of different stories. You get to see 3 stories from these women, all in different places, but all 3 essentially fighting for their rights to be based, for their job to be based on their intelligence and ability to do it. So that was great to watch. Kevin Costner was also, as I feel like anybody could have played that part, but Kevin Costner did well. I always have somewhat of a hang up with these roles where there's always at least one good non-minority, because then I question mark it. I want to know exactly, was it true, or was it Hollywood's need to always have at least one good non-minority in these situations? Because, and honestly, if you lived during that time period, even if you were a good non-minority, you didn't speak out a lot. You basically knew the status quo and you kept it. So it's not that I have a problem with it, but I'm interested in knowing how truthful that is. I'm always in this kind of weird thing when stories are based on true stories. I want to know how much of it is based on true stories. I know that Hollywood will always take liberties for entertainment value. They'll create storylines that weren't ever part of it or in real life, but I always kind of want to know what part is based on a true story and what part is Hollywood saying, hey, this is interesting, let's put that in here. If you're interested in history, if you're interested in the story of people fighting for their rights, I feel like this is a story that could be enjoyable for all. It's not a black story, it's an American story. It's a story of everyone's right to be, for their job, for their humanity, to be based basically only on their content of character. For lack of a better word, I don't want to get into quoting Martin Luther King on this, but I think everyone wants to be based, should be judged by their content of character, their intelligence, their ability to do something, than what their skin is. And I think that story is an American story. I don't think that, I mean, you could say mostly minorities have suffered that, but I mean, everyone, women, I feel like even if you're a non-minority woman, you can also identify with this, because it's about being a second-class citizen. I loved it. I loved every part of the story. I loved watching these beautiful, intelligent women fight for their right. Again, this is my first review, so I hope that I give enough without trying to give away the story. I don't want to tell you guys what happens in the story, so I'm just trying to give you just enough where I can give you my opinion on the flow of the movie. I thought the flow was great. It never seems to hang up, and then every time you feel like you got enough of one story, it came and switched to Octavia Spencer's character. Then it switched to Janelle Monáe's character, and you had a chance to learn about all 3 of these women and their fight, and it was great to watch and learn this. So I suggest heavily, if you have the chance to go out and see this movie, go support it. If you want to come back and tell me your thoughts on it, I would love to hear as well. If you agree with me, disagree with me, feel free to send me down a message. If you are interested, if you liked this format of me doing reviews of movies, I'm always in the movie theater. That's why I chose this kind of idea. If you want to see other things, please send me a comment telling me that you enjoyed this, and I will continue to add this to my repertoire of things. I'll add movie reviews themselves. So as always, man, be kind to one another and be easy. Peace. I see you at the movies.